Hello and welcome to the Half-Baked News. As food and drink processors embrace digital and connected systems, they must ensure their defense plans against cyber attacks are robust and well considered. Whilst technology is undoubtedly transforming the food and beverage industry for the better, our increasing reliance on connected intelligent systems also brings new risks, namely cyber attacks. The Cybersecurity Breaches Survey estimated that across all UK businesses, there were approximately 2.39 million instances of cybercrime and approximately 49,000 cases of fraud as a result of cybercrime in the last 12 months. What is a cyber attack? A cyber attack is an unauthorized and malicious attempt to breach a network or system, usually to alter, steal, destroy, or expose information. These attacks come in a range of forms, including phishing, sending fraudulent communications that appear to come from a trustworthy source, and malware, a software that is capable of obtaining information and disrupting systems. For example, among perhaps lesser-known methods like code injection, wherein malicious code is injected into a computer or network which can be used to extract data. Why cybersecurity must be taken seriously? The banking and finance industry was understandably among the first sectors to be affected by cybercrime because of the money associated and its natural dependency on IT. However, as other industries have become more resilient against such attacks, strengthening defences and securing entry points, attention has moved to sectors which are less tech mature. The food and drink sector is one such example, as it starts to employ more and more digital and connected technologies to enable greener, safer and more efficient operations. In a study from the University of Bristol, Cybersecurity for Food Security (SciFood), a distinct lack of understanding of data security practices and confusion around why someone would bother to attack was identified throughout the agricultural industry. For example, members of the sector were asked what consequences a computer being stolen or data hacked could have for the farm. In answer to this, the report gives the following example. An attacker could manipulate the feeding plans of a large dairy with major productivity consequences for the farm. More details of the project is found in that this is a very significant situation for them. Another quote included in the report flagged the limited knowledge of how things work, such as agri-tech devices. I mean, to be honest, I don't really understand exactly what we're doing. All I know is it works and it means our staff and I just log on, but yes, it raises a question of how secure it is for somebody else. Commenting on the importance of cybersecurity, Venki Sundar, as founder and president of Induspace, which offers security solutions, described it as vital to integrity, regardless of whether you're an SME or a larger corporation. He added, with technology and the internet being an integral and useful part of how many businesses operate, it is important that every company understands the risks of it being inadequately protected. If cyber attacks occur, a business can suffer from lost business data, a degraded reputation, and potentially a large financial cost. Whilst we found that email hacking is the most prevalent form of attack, the way it is carried out is very versatile. Phishing is a much talked about threat, however, bot attacks such as account takeover and credential stuffing could also be used to hack emails and get access to email accounts. The other method is when hackers exploit an SQL injection vulnerability and extract all credentials throughout the vulnerability. From 2018 to May 2023, research from Comparatech found that ransomware attacks, a type of malware that is designed to block access until a sum is paid, hit at least 157 food, beverage and agriculture organizations across the globe. It estimates this cost these companies around $1.36 billion in downtime. They, the food and beverage sector, do not have the kind of preventative measures, the best practices that these other industries have been adopting for some time. There's also a lack of awareness around the severity of what can happen to the safety of consumers through a successful cyber attack, explained Neil Cool, Director of Food, Retail and FMCG Supply Chain at British Standards Institute BSI. If we can't keep people fed, if we can't keep food on shelves, society will collapse quite quickly. There's so much reliance on connectivity with autonomy and equipment throughout the manufacturing and distribution supply chain, an attack can disrupt it all if it's coordinated effectively. Industrial companies have been tackling IT security for several decades. However, securing operational technology, OT, the control systems that manage, monitor, automate and control industrial operations is a more recent and increasingly urgent challenge, added Sean Reardon, Head of Section Industrial Systems Cyber Security at DNB. Industrial sectors like food manufacturing are becoming a growing target, partly because the majority of OT security lags IT security by approximately 15 years. And it's not just the lower maturity of the security for OT that presents a greater risk. The consequences of a cyber attack on OT can be more severe, ranging from product manipulation to the shutdown of safety systems, and the cost of an OT attack is likely to be much higher than an attack on just IT systems. Food and beverage manufacturers rely heavily on automated machinery and utilize industrial control systems, ICS, to automate operations. This requires potential and essential cybersecurity practices to be put in place. There are a number of standards available for food manufacturers to help equip them against cyber attacks, including ISO 27001 and IEC 62443, Industrial Automation and Control Systems, IACS. Accessing such standards is a good starting point, but food manufacturers should go further, complementing them them with work to identify and manage new risks and weaknesses, such as penetration testing and intrusion detection. Speaking with Call, one of the best ways of improving cyber resilience is to look at your food defense team. Nearly every time they speak with a company, their defense team is made up of food safety and quality professionals, he said, noting that they do not always see the threats because this is not their wheelhouse. He elaborated, the IT infrastructure team probably won't know how food is made. They're not someone you typically call up and ask about allergen control, but they do understand protecting physical and operational technology. Very rarely will a food company have representatives from site security, IT procurement in their food defense team. Paul explained that often attacks are a result of human error, for example, accidentally clicking a malicious link. Perhaps they didn't know that was a risk or something they shouldn't have done. He suggested it's communication. An organization would be well placed to assess third parties it's working with to identify supply chain blind spots. One issue can escalate or domino into many others, meaning the supply chain is a very attractive target, Reardon explained. Manufacturers should ascertain the security practices of relevant third parties, conduct regular audits of their main suppliers, and carry out due diligence prior to contracting new suppliers and including cybersecurity requirements in contracts. On operational technology and working with others to connect and equip factories, Reardon said that traditionally OT has been air-gapped, operating in siloed environments that are disconnected from other networks. The air gap is now closing fast. OT is becoming more networked and connected to IT environments, driven by companies' increasing need for access to data and analytics. The rapidly closing air gap provides cyber criminals with new opportunities to access and control critical systems. Manufacturers need to urgently address the security of their operational technology. Moreover, food manufacturers should rigorously question and assess their suppliers, not just about the technology being installed, but also about the people, processes, and other aspects that are key to ensuring cyber resilience. He concluded that it would be prudent for cybersecurity to be treated in the same way as food safety, stating manufacturers have long asserted that work is never so important that it cannot be carried out safely. Decades, employees have been encouraged to stop work and blow the whistle if they believe safety protocols are being neglected.